Greetings and salutations. You've arrived at After Dark with Super Marcey. Join your host, Super Marcey, as she brings you a show that's a little darker, sexier, and edgier, with sexploitation cinema, topical discussions, and all things that happen after dark. Listener discretion is advised, as this podcast will feature coarse language and adult themes. Remember, what happens after dark stays after dark.
Hello everybody, and welcome to After Dark with Super Marcey, an adults-only podcast. I am your host, Super Marcey, and this podcast is back after another short hiatus. I'm back again, and very excited to be back, and very excited for my guest and the topic of discussion for this episode. So, last episode, I had one half of the WebTales team on the show, and this time I have the other half of the WebTales team on the show. He is also my co-host over on the To Be Tuesdays podcast. So please welcome Professor Batch. Hello, Batch.
Good day. It's a pleasure to be here after dark.
Yes, welcome to the After Dark. That sounded a little bit sinister, but
After dark.
After Dark.
No,
yes.
This is if anything, this is going to be a much more chill and laid back after dark.
Yes,
It's
it is very chill right now. Very
It's
chill.
like, hey man, like that's the other show. I like over here nice and chill, and like we're gonna talk about some stuff today.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Yes, we're here to discuss the joys of Mary Jane. Not Mary Jane Watson, but Mary Jane the...
No, that's my other show. That's my other show.
That's your other show. That's After Dark with Batch.
No, that's WebTales, the Spider-Man Podcast. Available every Tuesday on the Pop4D network.
Please check it out.
But no, we are talking about cannabis, weed, marijuana, that good smoke. For those who are in the know with me, like besides all the podcasting I do, my day gig is I am actually a bud tender at a dispensary in Ontario.
Yes, and this is all very foreign to me, being in the land down under of Australia, where we don't have weed dispensaries. Like, marijuana is still, like, illegal in a lot of ways. They're kind of slowly getting there medicinally, but it's very hard to access, and it's very expensive, and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, I want to know, like, you know, what do you have at a dispensary? Like, what do you offer? Like, what am I missing out on as somebody who clearly is living in the past with...
Well, let's kind of start about my experiences in the cannabis industry. So I entered the industry almost going on 3 years now.
Yes,
wow,
that's right.
The time is that has flown by. But my work, we were the first one in my hometown, and some say still the best. But I had never worked in the industry. I come from a lifetime of retail work. I worked for Blockbuster back in the day. I worked for Electronics Boutique back in the day. A lot of commission sales. Worked at Future Shops. Was a computer sales for almost like 10 years as my day gig. So I won the lottery getting this gig, because I say this to customers every single day. This is the best job I've ever had. This is the weirdest job I've ever had. So just everyone is happy to be there, for customers. Like, very rarely do we ever get like an angry customer. Like, and even if they do, it's a cannabis shop. Like, but at the end of the day, we're gonna make you happy no matter what.
Yeah, plus you're in Canada. Like, people are always polite, so
keep believing that.
That's just the reputation. I don't know.
But it's been an interesting experience over the last 3 years, just kind of learning what goes on, like working as a bud tender on a daily basis, let alone then when COVID hit and everything grinded to a halt. We didn't close. No, we adapted and we
Yeah.
overcame. So we went from like having this. When we first opened up, as I said, we were the first ones in town. So we would have people line up out the doors, almost down the street, down the entire parking lot of the little.
Wow.
So we were a busy store. Like you would get on cash, and you would not leave cash for like almost an hour, and you would just get people through and get people through. We would have like 2 people in the vault, and just placing orders, and we were doing so much high volume out of that store. So granted, now in 2022, there are a lot more stores in my town, like almost 26. So some say there's too many stores. Like there's big chains like the one I work for, a couple others, but I think a lot of the mom and pop shops are going to kind of close down like this maybe this winter because there's too much, and especially with the economy as it is. But that's getting all besides. That's the more the political.
Yeah.
We're talking the fun stuff today.
Yes, all the fun stuff. Yeah.
So besides your basic kind of like flour, as we say, and pre-rolls, so what do you enjoy, Marcy? Like you come into my store, I say, welcome, how can I help you? What are we looking for today?
Yeah, so if I was a customer, I'd be like, hello there, young man. Now,
Oh, bye, thank you.
I'm a woman who has fibromyalgia. I have chronic pain. I need some strains that I can just smoke up at home that's going to make me chill and forget I have pain. What you got for me?
So first thing I will say, because I live in Ontario, we are legally not allowed to work as we are bartenders not to give medical advice. We cannot give medical advice in terms of pain or anything like that.
Right.
What I can say is I can actually talk at how stuff is related to myself.
Right. That makes sense. So there you go.
So then I would kind of go into, were you looking more for like an oil? Were you looking more to smoke something?
I want to smoke and be mellow. How's that?
Be mellow. Okay. So I assume you're looking for like a good indica and not a sativa.
Sure, let's go with that.
Okay. Do you know the difference between indica and sativa?
Probably.
Okay. Always remember indicas are like indica, like in the couch. So it's more sedative. So you're more kind of chill, kind of more relaxed. So you're going to watch Netflix and order some takeout, some DoorDash.
Exactly.
That's a nice indica.
Exactly.
So sativa is, we got like 20 podcasts to record. You need to be social. You need to be up and more kind of energetic. That's a nice sativa.
Right. Yes. Well, ignoring my medical condition, wink, wink. I just want to be chill. So give me that stuff.
So okay. So we'll get you with a nice indica. So then what I will usually do,
There we go.
I'll bring a cup. Nice indica. So we'll bring you over to our self-serve, so where we have all our products. So what I got, I gave Marcy the URL in the chat to our webpage.
So,
okay.
All right. So here's the link. Let's have a look.
Okay.
Am I at least 19 years of age? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Very important to be of the right age. Oh, hello.
Okay. So from here, we're going to go to where it says flower.
All right. So if I click on flower.
Okay, on the left-hand side, we're going to click on Indica, where it says strain type.
Strain type. Indica. Oh,
and then I like to go THC high to low. That filters the good stuff up top.
Oh, yes. So if we go high.
So these are all of the indicas different strains that we carry in my work.
There's a fuckload here.
Yeah, so what you're going to notice, like a lot of, I then kind of ask, are you looking for high THC or kind of low THC? I find people put way too much emphasis, especially on indicas with high THC. So sometimes it will kind of put you dead, like melt into the couch. But sometimes I've had like better experiences with a 17.8% or like an 18%. So, and all the next question I usually like to ask is, what are you looking to spend? So, what are you looking to spend today?
With these prices, like, seriously.
Compared to Australia, like, I don't know how things are over there.
I mean, for real, like, seriously, I think I could do all right with $100 here.
Okay.
Like,
so I would go.
Yeah.
Let's recommend a couple strains that I've tried. The Organic Comatose.
I mean, I like the sound of that. So
that one's a good price point. It's got around 26% THC. So very kind of heavy. It's an OG crush with it under an indica. Very dense. I've smoked it myself, so it's got nice tight little buds in there for a half quarter. That's a good way to go.
I mean,
you're getting the full batch treatment, Marcy.
I'm very excited right now. I like legit wish I could just have this right now.
Another one I would go with, depending on what you're looking to spend, if you don't mind spending a little bit more, the Sorbetto from Carmel. Carmel is just based down the road in Oro here in Barrie, Ontario. So I would say when you're buying a Carmel product, you're supporting local. So locals, Sorbetto is a really nice indica, a little bit more expensive, like $40 a half quarter. But a little bit of honey, a little bit of herbs on the exhale with that. Really, really nice smoke.
I like it.
So we got a couple good half quarters for you. Were you looking for anything else today?
I mean, geez, what could I have today?
Gummies, we got chocolate, we've got freezies, we got Kool-Aid now. It's getting weird from Box Hot.
I mean, I'm totally just gonna look at these drinks, like...
Oh, the drinks are pretty good. The drinks have come a long way in the last 2 years.
Like, there are so many options to drink.
My favorite one right now is the blood orange, yuzu, and vanilla. It tastes exactly like an orange creamsicle. It's got a good 10 milligrams of THC, 10 milligrams of CBD.
Nice.
And a decent price point as well.
I mean, I didn't even realize, like, you could have drinks until you brought it up.
Yeah, Ontario bylaw says that drinks can only be like 10 milligrams. But that's a good thing. We always get the guys come in and say, hey, I need like 100 milligrams. No, you don't. I'm a big dude. I can try a 10 milligram edible, have yourself a good night. But at the end of the day, everybody's tolerance is kind of different. So some people may have one, some people may have two. And that's where I also say, like, a lot of the beverages and the edibles kind of fit well together. They pair really well together. So you may get your 5 milligrams this way, you may get your 10 milligrams that way, and you have a good night.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, oh gosh, you've got gummies, you've got chocolate, like, goodness me.
The dissolvable THC powders are really nice too, because like those are 10 milligrams and they go anything like beverage. So I put mine in a Dairy Queen Blizzard.
Oh, wow.
And it bonded the fats of the ice cream. And I put that in hot chocolate at Christmas time to make like an infused hot chocolate.
Nice. Like, this is insane to me, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair.
To be fair, as we say on Tuber Tuesdays. Like...
let's go to edibles.
Like, for real, it is like... you know, I can only dream of things like this.
Yeah, so like the gummies are good. A lot of the good brands that I like right now are Wild, WYLD. They're some of the best texture gummies. I'm very kind of particular with what I like in a gummy. Sometimes it's just if I don't like the mouthfeel of the gummy, or you can just really taste the distillate in them. So again, they're 10 milligrams. So with any gummy, they're going to be 2 in a pack. So each one's 5 milligrams, or 4 in a pack. So each one's 2.5. So at the end of the day, you're still going to get your 10 milligrams. All depends on how you want to go with it and what kind of your body responds to.
Yeah, so I can see, like, some of the chocolates are, like, 10 as well.
Yep.
Which, yeah.
Okay. CBD's a little bit different. You can have as much CBD as you want in gummies. So now we're starting to see, like, packs of gummies, like, with 20 milligrams, or, sorry, 200 milligrams or 300 milligrams, with still, like, minimal, like, 5 to 10 milligrams of THC.
Like, I can see a few of those there.
Yeah, we got peanut butter cups. Those are decent. We got these new gummies called Pearls that all the staff has been totally fallen in love with. And so each one is, like, again, 2 milligrams, but a lot of times they'll have CBD, CBG, CBN. So CBD, GBC, and CBN, they're all different cannabinoids with different effects. A lot of people kind of know about CBD right now. Sorry, I got on a roll.
You can do it.
Okay. So CBD, a lot of people are familiar with CBD. So with CBG, it kind of gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling, but your mind keeps going. So it's kind of more like a sativa that way. Really, really nice, really fun little feeling. Again, if you're hanging out with your friends or things like that, try some CBG. CBN is more nighttime. So because we can't give medical advice, we can't talk about sleep. So CBN is always CBN for nighttime. So that comes in oil, comes in vapes, comes in all that fun stuff.
So... like, without, like, obviously giving medical advice, you kind of get the idea of, like, I can't sleep too well. Yeah, sure, well, this is kind of like a nighttime one. Here you go.
Yes, I can kind of, we have to kind of talk around it legally that way.
Yes.
So oils, a lot of people talking about come in for CBD oils, like you were saying, for pain and things like that, which unfortunately we can't talk about. When it comes to CBD oil, what I can say, and I always like to tell my customers, is that to get the most maximum amount of like value out of CBD, you gotta make sure you do it at, like 2-3 weeks every single day. You're building a base of CBD in your system, then slowly kind of ramp it up, see how you kind of feel. A lot of people just expect like a quick fix of like, it's gonna fix my pain. It doesn't quite work like that.
Yeah.
Some people swear by it. Some people does nothing for it. You gotta kind of experiment in your tolerance.
See, for me, that's kind of like where I'd go next. I'd check out like the oils and obviously get a supply, or at least come back every so often to redo it and just be using it like however many times a day. And if it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, then try something else, pretty much.
Then there's the concentrate. So these are for the guys that want to kind of kick it up a notch. These would normally require like a dab rig with a blowtorch and a nail and all those kinds of stuff. So they come in it's a concentrated form of THC that's been chemically extracted. So a lot of times it'll come in a wax. It'll come in like what they call diamonds. They look like little diamonds. Traditional hash is technically a concentrate. We sell a lot of those too.
Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, my work has like the biggest selection in town, and because we try and get our hands on anything we get our hands on.
Absolutely. Like, it's very fascinating because like it's my dream to just have like stores like this because like sure, you can't give medical advice or blah blah blah, but I could have somewhere to go with that in my mind, but I can obviously talk my way around.
Come to Ontario. We have plenty.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I might just move. Moving to Canada, eh?
Yeah. At least it's not the States.
Well, that is true. And then, you have like your pre-rolls.
Yep, so everyone loves our pre-rolls. We have guys that come in every single day they buy one pre-roll.
Oh, wow.
But that's what they do. That's how they can ration themselves.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
So pre-rolls, again, they're getting infused with like some of the distillates. So like we have ones from Quest that are infused with the papers infused with the diamonds. So those are now like at 39%. When we opened up like 2 years ago, we were lucky to get like 20%, 21%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Where now everything is like through the freaking roof.
Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff as well. That I can see.
A lot of pre-rolls come in a 3-pack. So those would be like 0.5s. But a lot of them are very popular in the 10-pack, so those look like little cigarettes. So those are like 0.35s.
Nice.
And then you got your 1 gram. Then you got your 1 gram pre-rolls.
I do like all the bizarre names for things as well.
I do got to say, man, all your stuff is too weak for me.
Oh,
I need something to do. I'm on this show too.
Hi,
I go
Craven.
where he goes.
Yes, we know that. Craven wants like the most strongest stuff in everything.
I go in there and I say, Pachi, hey Pachi, you give me the most powerful stuff you have, right? Go, I want it from the back of the show, back of the box.
We're not allowed to talk about that.
And then I give him like the cheapest swag we have.
You give him the weakest.
He doesn't know the difference,
and he doesn't know. Yeah, you just give him the weakest shit, and he doesn't know.
I give him the snickle fit. I give him the snickle fits.
Yes.
But yeah, we got a lot of pre-rolls. So a lot of them are like they're good.
Like it's really interesting, just like actually looking at stuff as well. Yeah, I mean, it could just go like all products. Whoa, there's lots of products.
And we also do also do online orders, so people can buy their stuff online and they just walk in, say I'm order 34, and we just grab them their stuff because they've already paid for it.
Easy. I mean, there looks to be something called After Dark, so
yeah,
might have to.
There used to be a strain in Ontario called the Batch.
Oh, the batch.
And I was gonna sue somebody because I didn't see a goddamn dime from any of that.
Yeah, you need a good lawyer.
Except Mark popped me one day because I asked him what he was smoking, and he held up the package, and in Montreal it's Le Batch.
Le Batch. We're just gonna call you Le Batch from now on.
Le Batch. That's the fancy stuff. That's the important stuff.
Le Batch. Yeah, it is. It's for me like it is totally fascinating because it's like, what the fuck? Why do we not have this shit here? Like that just feels sad, man.
And all the strains, they do look, they smell different, they smoke different, they give you different effects. Like I bought some stuff called Turple last week. Phenomenal. Oh, it smelled like nice Tangerine Dream, old school Tangerine
nice.
Dream, which used to be a strain we had. Really nice purples to the bud, really nice trichomes.
Nice. And I see you've got like like of there, excuse me. Like you can get all sorts of accessories, you can get your vapes and
Yep.
like you got everything essentially.
Yeah, we always have stuff on promo every 2 weeks, so there's a lot of contests that I win.
Because Batch knows what he's doing, obviously. Sorry, Batch knows what he's doing.
Le Batch.
Le Batch. I mean, but like in general, like just moving away from actually like working there, just like with experiencing things as we experience. Like we can talk about the medical side of things because we're not working because we're not working in a store, but like for you personally, does it help with because some people find like I guess it depends on what they've had, but like having weed can make things worse. Like do you find it makes things better for you?
So I've got anxiety, I've got PTSD, I've got depression, I've been diagnosed ADHD. So I've been on every single antidepressant God knows, man, and nothing has worked for it. So, but for me, my balance with cannabis, I use it as a tool to manage it for the anxiety. So I found that perfect work-life balance. Some people can, some people can't. So while there may not be anything physically addictive with cannabis, psychologically for some people it can be defective. So you got to be kind of careful with that. So how do you find it helps for you with your kind of issues that you deal with?
Yeah, I mean, like with my mental health, obviously very similar to what you go through as well. Like depression, anxiety. I'm convinced I probably have ADHD. Who knows? I definitely have a bit of PTSD in there at points. Plus dealing with chronic pain. So it's not like one thing fixes all, but being able to have something that kind of tricks the pain sort of sensors in my brain. So I'm not like in terrible pain every freaking day. Like it's glorious, but also like it almost relaxes the mind. So if it's like a very sort of stressful or like mega anxiety episode or something, like you have a few hits, right? And then it's like, oh, I'm not thinking about anything. This is nice. I can chill. Like for me, like that is just so beneficial, like the small things. And this is like part of the thing, like I would really love to have like creams and oils available because I know like obviously like I'd go to sort of the medical side of it rather than the recreational side, if we had those options. But yeah, that would be stuff like I know that is probably going to work for me. And these things aren't going to work for everybody. Every single person is completely different. We are wired very differently, but
that's the thing.
If you know what works, like if marijuana is just not for you, like that's it. You don't do it.
Yeah.
If it does, like why shouldn't you have that available to help you? And that's what bothers me about here.
I've seen so many people like that would never come to a weed store come in over the last 2 years, like little old ladies, older men, just that generation, and just more and more of them are just converting. Because instead they're trying to get off the wine. So instead of that glass of wine a night, they're having a weed drink, or they're trying this, or they're trying that. They're coming for their gummies because that's what gets the job done. I sell so many CBD gummies to little old ladies. It's hilarious, but there's too much money to be made in Australia for them not to do it eventually.
I really don't get it. Like, why is this not a thing? Like, I know people are convinced it's going to happen sooner rather than later, but I don't have, the confidence that that's going to happen. And, before like all the sort of COVID and pandemic stuff, like when my mum was in the US, like she went to a dispensary and she was shocked. Like there were people her age just in the store. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Why do you think? And then she's like, yeah, because they're buying the creams and the oils and this and that. And I do think
Yeah.
she tried some stuff that was sort of more for like arthritis, and like it said it was really, really good. And she brought me back, I think, a face cream, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this country that we just don't have this shit? Like, my God, what the
Well,
fuck?
again, like as countries like Canada, like more as it just gets legalized in more and more countries, more other countries are gonna hop on because they have to, because they're just missing out.
Yeah, there's honestly no point in how they've done it here.
Now, if we could just get rid of the AGCO, which is the government body of Canada, like which is kind of like, because all dispensaries in Ontario have to get it from the AGCO, and that's one of the reasons why it's still kind of expensive. And if we could just contact and cut deals with a lot of these companies directly and cut out the middleman, it'd be cheaper, it'd be better, and we would have more variety, and just the industry would evolve so much more quickly.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think it'll, like, if it happens here, it'll probably be like sort of that same way. Even though I'd rather it not be, but I think the benefits outweigh the negatives, and there's so much research to say, hey, this shit's not bad for you. It's like this weird stigma we have to take away from it, especially like with stigmas around like health and mental health, with something that is beneficial. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to just have some weed if you don't have any issues, because why the fuck would you not want to be just like, chill and shit? For me, I don't consider it a illicit drug.
No.
So, yeah.
Cannabis leads to munchies. Cannabis leads to hanging out with your buddies and watching cartoons.
Yeah. And
Cannabis leads to podcasts.
It does. Like, what's wrong with that, everybody? And you can hear about a lot of the shittiness and ridiculousness of what they thought of marijuana when Lance and I did a commentary for the propaganda film Reefer Madness.
Where was I? Why wasn't I on that one?
I have no idea. I think that was last minute with Lance because he was bored because the family were away. But, like, seriously, waves need to be made in this country sooner rather than later. I want to be like Batch and work at the dispensary.
It's a fun-ass job, and I love my job, and I love the people I work for, and I can't say enough good things. I'm just not going to say who they are.
Yes, you'll have to pretend you can work it out one day.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. But I think that can wrap up our little discussion on the joys of Mary Jane. And if you want to hear
okay,
more,
that'll be $100.43.
Yes.
How would you like to pay today?
Yes. Well, I'll tap my phone on your ting. I don't know how.
And then I'll send Wong over with the orders. So
yes, I'll hang out with Wongers.
Wongers.
If you want to hear more about Batch talking about Mary Jane, check out Web Tales of Spider-Man Podcast on the Pop4D network and on all the podcast players, and just subscribe. And for the other stuff Batch does, you can find on the Pop4D feeds on your podcast players. And I'm just advertising you without asking you, because I know the drill so well.
No, go on, talk about me. So,
and of course, check out the Pop4D network on Facebook. And for all things After Dark, just pretty much you can go to the After Dark link tree, which is linktr.ee/After Dark Network. And yes, that was a very pleasant and fun episode, and hopefully the podcast will be back very soon. But until then, everybody must remember, what happens after dark stays after dark. And thank you, Batch, for joining me after dark.
Bachi, we gonna go get high now?